In this video, we're going to look at how to solve trigonometric equations, or trig equations for short. So in this example, we've got sine x equals to a half, and our range is x is greater than or equal to 0, but less than or equal to 360 degrees. So what we're going to do is first work out what x is. Now the inverse of sine at A level, we call it arc sine. So it's arc sine of a half. At GCSE, you would have called this sine inverse. It just means the inverse sine function. So we can just get our calculator, making sure we're in degrees mode with a little d there. Press shift and sine, and I can type in a half. It's 30 degrees. So what we have to do now is something called the cast diagram or quadrant diagram. So we draw a quadrant. In the first quadrant, all angles are positive, so A stands for. In the second quadrant, only sine is positive. In the third quadrant, only tan is positive. And in the fourth quadrant, only cosine is positive. So because we've got a positive angle, we say, well, sine is positive in the first quadrant, so we can draw in 30 degrees. But sine is also positive in the second quadrant. So all angles are measured in an anti-clockwise direction if they're positive. So we start here and we go in an anti-clockwise sense to here. And this pink angle would be 180 degrees minus 30 degrees. So x would be equal to 150 degrees. And finally, we write that therefore our solution set is that x is equal to 30 degrees and 150 degrees. Here's a question for you to try. You can pause the video, and when you're done, I will go through my work solution. Okay, welcome back. So we've got sine x equals root 3 over 2. So the first thing we ought to do is say x is equal to arc sine root 3 over 2. So you should know that's 60 degrees. And then we can draw our cast diagram and say, okay, where is sine positive? It's positive here in the first quadrant, positive there in the second quadrant. So you measure all angles in an anti-clockwise sense if it's positive. So second solution is 180 minus 60 degrees. It's 120 degrees. So we can say therefore our solution set is x equals 60 degrees and 120 degrees. In this next example, we now need to learn how to deal with when we have a negative value. So we can say x is equal to arc sine minus root 3 over 2. Type that into our calculator. And that will give you minus 60 degrees. So what we do, we use the cast diagram again. But this time we say, where is sine negative? Well, it's negative in the third quadrant. And it's negative in the fourth quadrant. So the first solution, we go in an anti-clockwise direction from here all the way to here. So the first solution is 180 degrees plus 60 degrees, which gives me 240 degrees. Then the next solution goes from here all the way to there. So we can say x is 360 degrees minus 60 is just 300 degrees. So we can say therefore our solution set is x equals 240 degrees and 300 degrees. Here's a question for you to try. You can pause the video, and when you're done, I will go through my work solution. Okay, welcome back. So the first thing we ought to do is to say that x is arc sine of minus a half, and that will give me minus 30. So we can draw a cast diagram again. Now we say, where is sine negative? Well, it's negative in the third quadrant. So we draw in 30 degrees there. It's negative in the fourth quadrant. And our first solution is 180 plus 30, which is 210 degrees, and the other solution is here, 360 degrees minus 30 degrees is 330 degrees. So therefore solution set is (210 degrees, 330 degrees.